I think it is safe to note that in Zimbabwe we don't have a ZRP, a Zimbabwe Republic Police. In fact, we have got thugs masquerading as police officers, because normal police officers would not do what Mnangagwa, through these thugs, the ZRP, are doing to Professor Lovemore Madhuku. Guess what? They have issued a notorious statement claiming that they are not involved in the violence that actually occurred during the gathering of NCA, the political organization led by the learned Professor Lovemore Madhuku. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So ZRP, a notorious gang that is protecting the regime of Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, have issued a very insensitive statements. We know that it's them who did what they did to Professor Lovemore Madhuku. They have just decided to issue a statement because the matter is condemned. Zimbabweans are united and they are actually speaking one language. That Mnangagwa is worse than Emmerson, than actually Robert Gabriel Mugabe. So let's read the Unprofessional Zimbabwe Republic Police. It says in their statement, ZRP gives clarity on alleged attacks on Professor Lovemore Madhuku and his team. And it goes on to say the Zimbabwe Republic Police has noted reports of an alleged attack on Professor Lovemore Madhuku and members of his team. For the record, the police were not involved in the alleged incident. Look at the further explanation of these facts. In actual fact, Professor Lovemore Madhuku and his team had previously notified the relevant regulating authority regarding their intended meeting. Upon reviewing the notification, the regulating authority identified certain irregularities and engaged the National Constitutional Assembly convener and advised him that the meeting was not sanctioned. Now, this same notorious Zimbabwe Republic Police, it allows ZANU-PF meetings, but it does not allow meetings of the opposition political party. I think the leader, this National Commissioner of Police, is one of the thugs of Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, and it's quite clear that he is allowing himself to be used as a dog of Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa to actually bite innocent Zimbabweans. This is a shame. And what is writing here, I don't know what is the purpose of this stupid statement. We expect a professional Zimbabwe Republic Police to actually tell us what happened to Professor Lovemore Madhuku, not to tell us what he did in an attempt to convene the meeting. That is useless. We don't want to hear about that. Who said we want to hear about irregularities, convener nonsense? We don't want to hear that. There was no criminality in actually notifying you about a public gathering, but there is criminality in sending, is it Matamba, sending your thugs to actually beat up, a respected professor, an officer of the court. If these thugs can do so to Professor Lovemore Madhuku, what about just an ordinary Zimbabweans? It means we are not safe under Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Zimbabweans are not certainly safe. I wonder why they would write. This is a very stupid and unprofessional statement to be issued by a group of thugs masquerading themselves as the Zimbabwe Republic Police. Police officers do not behave in a manner this idiot chief of staff, actually it's called Pinyati, the commissioner who wrote this nonsense. This is nonsense. What was the purpose of writing this? You could have actually, at least the first paragraph is better. You tell us you are not involved, if ever you were not involved, then why are you telling us about what Professor Madhuku did? How do you link this or that you are telling us in the second paragraph with what you are mentioning in the first paragraph? You can see that these thugs are trying to play smart, fooling Zimbabwe. They think they know better. They think they are wiser than everybody else. This is a useless statement. So what? So what? Because, okay, now, and advised him that the meeting was not sanctioned. So what? We are talking about then deploying thugs after realizing that the meeting went ahead. That is what you are supposed to explain, not this hogwash of actually telling us. So it goes on to say, as such, no police personnel were deployed to oversee or monitor the meeting in question. I mean, it doesn't need police officers to be in a meeting. The notification is because of the Ruthless Mopo Act that was enacted by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, a law that is used by ZANU-PF to actually fight with the opponents. That is what is exactly happening. It's a law that is not applicable to all Zimbabweans, but to Zimbabweans that are in opposition. Zimbabweans that are in ZANU-PF can actually convene gatherings. They don't need to report to the police or to get a clearance. Most of these meetings that the likes of Machacha, they are busy saying it's consultative meetings. Tell me something. So this ZANU-PF led by Mnangagwa family thugs, so they only want to do consultations on on their own, and no consultations on dissenting voices. Then we don't have a country. We don't have a country in this regard. The country belongs to a family. The country belongs to even ZANU-PF is no longer a political party, but it is a ZANU-PF that gets instructions from the bedroom of Mnangagwa. And those thugs, from the sons of Mnangagwa who are taking drugs, these are the people that are leading the country. We don't need this. This is nonsensical. And this ZRP is actually, they are not professional police officers. In fact, these are thugs. You cannot beat up citizens in such a manner because they convened a meeting. I think this president deserves to, something that was done on Maduro. Mnangagwa deserves that. He deserves one morning for Zimbabweans to wake up and he is arrested. This criminal is, the criminality, the level of criminality that is done by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa is at another level to the people of Zimbabwe. And this should not go on. This should never be tolerated. And this should never actually intimidate Zimbabweans. It should actually give Zimbabweans resolve that they don't deserve these thugs. These are nothing but thugs. Thugsterism should not be allowed to thrive. So what is written by these thugs masquerading as police, it's worse. So because you're not deployed, who are you? How do you convene a meeting and expect thugs to come to your meeting in the name of protecting you? So now they are trying to spin propaganda that because we did not go to protect Lovemore Madhuku, someone else actually went and assaulted Lovemore. There is absolutely no one who would develop enmity over Zimbabweans for actually speaking against Amendment number 3 of 2026, except the bedroom of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa and its thugs, the Zimbabwe Republic Police. These are the enemy. These are people actually who are supporting this 2030 term extension nonsense and the mutilation of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. when I was looking, if you want to see that a president, I mean, not a president, I can't call that thing a president. If you want to see that Mnangagwa is heartless, I mean, how do you sleep sending not even police, these thugs masquerading as police to actually beat up a person as old as Professor Lovemore Madhuku? Mnangagwa has no shame. He has no shame at all. Us, we grew up being told that, an elderly person, even talking to an elderly person, you have to talk in a respectful manner. Just imagine thinking about going to beat up an old person like Lovemore Madhuku, the way Mnangagwa did it, the way these thugs from ZRP did it. Are these people born of a woman? Are these people coming from normal families? What is Mnangagwa turning ZRP to be when this is happening? We no longer have a country, and the country has to be rescued. This should not continue. He kills people who are actually opposing 2030 term extension. He beats up people. He doesn't allow opposition to actually even convene. He wants him to be actually, he wants women to be twerking and for ZANU-PF only. Others who don't like ZANU-PF, he doesn't want them to speak. What nonsense is that? Sure, I've never seen such a thing, and I never thought that in this life, we will actually witness this nonsense that Mnangagwa is doing. This is a pure thug, that has to be removed from power. Whichever way, he has to be removed in power. He doesn't deserve the title of being called a president. He is simply a thug, a heartless thug. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to subscribe. Let's meet on the other side of the live.